Welcome back. Today in our Sunday Spotlight, Fire Prevention Safety Week. It gets underway today. Alan Zigman from the Connecticut Fire Academy is joining me here in Studio A to offer some advice which we can all use. This year's theme is creating escape plans. So Alan, let's start there.
Yes. That's
what they're focusing on for this Fire Prevention Week. So tell us what that means.
Yeah, the fire prevention, each year they develop a theme, and this year's theme is Fire Won't Wait, Plan Your Escape. So the real key is to make sure that everyone in the household is aware of what your fire plan is. How we do that is we generally make a map of our home. We pick 2 ways out of each room, and that's in case the first way is blocked by smoke or fire, we can go to the second way out. And you also pick a meeting place, usually outside in the front yard. And that way, and then at the end, after everyone's involved in the process, you practice the escape plan. So you can actually have people simulate that they're in bed, and then you can turn on a smoke detector, and they can all practice escaping the home and getting to the meeting places safely.
I would imagine that there's some fair share of our audience that's watching this and saying, Alan, I'm not in kindergarten. I'm not drawing a map of my house and showing how to get out. But you were a career firefighter before you were up at the Fire Academy. Yes. So for people who thankfully haven't had to experience it, you hear the beeping, you hear the alarms going off in the middle of the night, there's a fire in your home. Why is that planning important? What would the conditions be that you might encounter that somebody who's kind of rolling their eyes at your advice might want to have a different approach?
Well, smoke and fire fills the house very, very quickly. Today's modern furnishings give you much less time to escape a burning building. In fact, in most cases, you have less than 2 minutes to effectively get out from when the smoke detector alarms you. So it's really important that when the smoke detector does go off, that you immediately react to it, and make sure that if you practiced your escape plan, you can actually, everyone will go back to that and be able to perform that same skill and just the way they practiced.
And things like having a backup way to get out is a big deal, because if you know, in the middle, like I said, middle of the night or middle of the day, in the chaos that would come from that alarm going off and everyone trying to get out, if that escape route you had planned is blocked, you got to have somewhere to go, and having done it before makes a difference.
Absolutely, and that's another key with the meeting place outside, is if people get out through the front door or other people can't get out that way because it's blocked and they have to come out through the back door or whatever, everyone goes to the same place out front. And that's another real important part, because once the fire department arrives, you call 911 from outside, and then once the fire department arrives, the fire officer is going to come up and he's going to be able to take an accountability of everyone in the home. And that's a real critical part.
And that's important, because that's going to change what maybe those firefighters who show up at your house fire do. I mean, if there's someone who maybe didn't go to the meeting place and they don't realize that the son is out in the backyard and everyone else is out front, firefighters may go in that house and put their lives at risk looking for them unnecessarily.
Yes, we had a very similar incident in Southington years ago, and it was exactly that. Some of the family had gone next door and were inside, so when another member of the family came outside, he was unaware of that they had even escaped. So we came in with the impression that there were people in the building, and they were not. They were totally safe.
Now, I looked at some of the statistics. 26% of all fires are in homes, and 75% of fire deaths are in homes.
Yes.
What is it? I mean, I think people feel like, you know, what's the chance it's going to happen to me? But if it does happen, and it does happen in your home, it can be deadly.
Absolutely. Most of the fire deaths happen in homes because people are exactly that. They feel that it's never going to happen to them. And unfortunately, even with today's modern smoke alarms that are out there, we still find a lot of fire deaths are in homes that don't have working smoke alarms. So if they do anything this week during Fire Prevention Week, please just check all the smoke alarms in your house to make sure that they're all working.
And I know that there's a lot of obviously different causes of house fires, you know, cooking, heating, electrical. I was surprised to see how many are still smoking material deaths. The numbers that are related, latest, are 2015 to 2019, still a high number on the top 5.
Yes.
And so that's got to be something people should be aware of if there's a smoker in their house.
Yeah, smoking, a lot of the smoking fires that start from smoking materials often start on the exterior of the house because a lot of people are smoking outside nowadays. But smoking is still in the top 5. It's gone down in ranking, but it's still there, and it still is a major cause of house fires.
And another one, of course, is heating. And I know I started as the morning reporter in 2004 here at Channel 3, and you'd get to that first few cold days, and you knew you were going to a house fire somewhere from someone who plugged in a space heater and had it too close to something, or it wasn't in the right spot. What's the advice for people as we start to see cold weather coming this fall?
Well, the key is your heating, whatever heating system you have, should be maintained annually. So you should have, whether it's a furnace or, so that should all be maintained on a regular basis. In addition to that, fireplaces, wood stoves are often very popular nowadays because they're alternatives and they can save money on the other types of fuel costs. But again, those create issues inside your flue, so you really need to make sure that those are cleaned on a regular basis.
Well, and here we are in October for Fire Prevention Week. We're getting ready to head into the home heating season. You mentioned smoke detectors and how important that is. Maybe it's the time to call and get stuff serviced.
Absolutely. Most places would prefer that you called in the summertime because they're a lot less busy. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't had it looked at in a while, make sure that it's doing. And in addition to that, it's going to make the system more efficient. So it can save you money on your heating costs as well.
All right, let's just go back to the theme. They have the catchy slogan, "Fire won't wait, plan your escape." So just real quick, 30 seconds left. What should people be doing? They should be thinking about how to get out of their house multiple ways.
Yeah, plan your escape. Come up with an escape plan. Make sure everyone's involved. And another key with this week is many fire departments throughout the whole state of Connecticut are having special events during this week. So what I would advise is call your local fire department and see if they have any events planned for this week.
All right, and this is Fire Prevention Week today, the 9th, all the way through the 15th.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming in. Alan Zigmund from the Connecticut Fire Academy, the Public Information Coordinator up there. We appreciate you being with us here on CT22.
Thank you very much for having us.